Travelers of Reddit, what place did live up to the hype? Norway. Endless nature, giant pretty mountains, drinkable see-through water, so many rocks to jump on, very few people in sight. 9/10. I would go in the summer though. I've been lucky to travel around a fair bit and the fjords of Norway are the most incredible thing I've ever seen, full stop. Not to mention the fact that the people are absolutely gorgeous. You will consistently see drop-dead beautiful women and men honestly everywhere. Yes, the award-winning fjords by Slutty Bartfest. I don't see much Asia on here, so I'm just the Inari Gates, Kyoto, Japan. The arcade district in Tokyo, I forget the name, but just skyscrapers full of arcade games. Lot World, Seoul, South Korea, the largest indoor amusement park, not intended for adults, but we didn't care. Honestly, Seoul has zero hype and is super underrated. Korea isn't very touristy, so everything is authentic and a blast. The DMZ did not live up to the hype and was the only touristy part of the whole country as far as I saw. Prague and Santorini needed, especially if you go close to the off-season. And the general atmosphere of Barcelona and Amsterdam makes your soul feel refreshed. The Oregon coast. To be fair, I'd never heard any hype about it, but if there is hype, it's totally accurate. Sitting on a patio overlooking a beach with steel grey waves crashing in, eating a bowl of slimgullion, while drinking a rogue ale. The air is chilly and foggy, but under the tent roof of the fish and chip shop you're totally comfortable. Then the sun comes out, and you comb the beach for agates, while keeping an eye for those sneaker waves. Absolutely. Hype is Cannon Beach, mostly from what I heard is coming from the Netherlands. Especially the part near Thor's Well is awesome. Wadi Rum, a desert preserve in the south of Jordan. It's beautiful. My wife and I visited Jordan this summer and spent the night in Wadi Rum with a Bedouin guide and his son. It was a fantastic experience and I highly recommend it. Never in my life have I seen so many stars or such a beautiful sunset. Agreed. Petra was cool, but Wadi Rum blew my mind. I'd love to go back. Banff National Park in Alberta, Canada. The most beautiful place I've ever visited. The most beautiful sight known to Banff. Machu Picchu. Even if you aren't into the whole ancient city, which I kind of get it, it's crowded as hell, and you're essentially just walking through. The view is effing incredible with the mountains all around. There's a pathway that leads off the city and gives you a wild panorama of the ruins and all the surrounding mountains. There's very few people up there because it's a hell of a walk, so it's quiet and you just get to take it all in. The town underneath Machu Picchu is also really cool because it's essentially just built up the side of a mountain. The $4 go-karts on the main drag at the Wisconsin Dells. Super cheap and you get to go for like 10 minutes. As somebody who grew up in Superior and Wisconsin Dells was the every other summer, if we could afford it family vacation, let me tell you, there are no better go-karts in the world than at Wisconsin Dells. I went to school at Madison and my friends and I would go more often, just for fun in the summer, and when you get those wooden tracks with just the slightest bit of rain, before they shut down due to weather, it's basically Mario Kart, equipped with full-on banana peel spins. Complete power sliding through the Trojan horse spirals. I love your reply so much. Thanks for the nostalgia. Rome this, New Zealand that, blah blah, this is what I'm talking about. For me, Iceland. I went at the very start of the season, so got the benefit of being able to do all the things without insane crowds. Also, Norway and Ireland are effing gorgeous. And Italy is an art lover's paradise. This so much. I've been in several countries in Europe and in South America, but Iceland is different. There are lots of different landscapes really close to others. If you think in a country you surely will think, yeah, this place with X thing, that makes it special. But Iceland is the places with all those things. Volcanoes, glaciers, waterfalls, caves, mountains, rivers, pools and the best aurora borealis. I've seen the others wonders and there are better ones than in Iceland. If you want to see glaciers and waterfalls, go to Argentina. If you like beer, green grass, and castles, go to Ireland. Mountains, go to Switzerland, etc. But in the only place I could see auroras was there, and it was breathtaking. So if you want to see as much as you can, go to Iceland. Within a week, and not much kilometers you will feel like that you have been in 3 different countries. So far, my favorite country. The Pacific Rim National Park, Canada. It's a temperate rainforest with huge trees that are hundreds of years old. I'm from the west coast of Canada and grew up visiting these parks regularly. When I lived and traveled overseas, I was surprised by how many people told me that their holiday to BC was one of the most amazing things they'd ever done. When I returned home after a few years abroad, I was floored with how beautiful BC is. Growing up here, you can start to take it for granted. I now know how lucky I'm to have been born here into a position in life that afforded me the opportunity to experience as normal what some people remember as their most favorite holiday. Austria. I felt like, no matter which direction I looked, it was like a picture from a postcard. I expected the people to be somewhat cold, but they were very friendly and welcoming. I'd love to go back. Once I was in Salzburg, and after getting lost on the big hill south of downtown, I ended up at the Augustiner Brew, where a random assortment of locals at my table and I played a game with dyed boiled eggs, and bought each other elderflower liquor for hours. Super friendly people in Austria. That was probably around Easter, when you played the infamous game of Earpican. New Zealand. I went there this July, so in the middle of their winter, and my Kiwi mate was telling me how cold it would be. I'm English BTW, and it was autumnal. The landscapes are just amazing. I walked up to Roy's Peak and the views were amazing. I went hiking on a glacier, and if it was summer I could have gone surfing in the same day. Also, the roads are great. Most of the highways are 1 lane, but the roads are so empty that it doesn't make a difference. Second this, I went to New Zealand for a little over a week last July. The whole landscape is just so scenic and tranquil. Sometimes I would just stop somewhere off the side of the endless quiet roads, just to breathe in the air and look at the horizon and mountains. I traveled from Christchurch to Queenstown, making stops in Wanaka and a town close to Pukaki Lake. Forgot the town's name, but my god was it stunning. Oraki/Mount Cook National Park was absolutely one of the best places I've been to. I've never seen mountains so powerful. Queenstown was typical tourist place, but pretty cool in of itself. I made the hike up to Milford Sound, which was pretty great. Almost like taking a scene out of Jurassic Park. Gotta say, New Zealand, at least the South Island, didn't travel to the North Island, lived up to its hype. Went to Walmart as a European guy. Leading up to going there I've been told it's nothing special, and it will be an anticlimax. After we arrived I saw there was a McDonald's in the Walmart. Easily the best experience of America's my life. Best part of everything, there were 2 scootmobiles of fat people inside. Only 2? Damn, we'll do better next time. Ireland. People were beyond friendly, and it was like a jolly pub celebration complete with trad every night. The bar atmosphere is so different, less sleazy dudes trying to get it, and people being friendly to actually be friendly. It was wonderful. Ireland is one of the 2 places I would visit again, Australia being the second. So far, some trips end with, that was fun, where do we go next? But Ireland ended with, when can we come back? The people were great. The scenery is spectacular. There's so much history there that I could spend a week visiting historic sites alone. The Burren, in my opinion, is a very underrated attraction. It has a beauty to it that I really enjoyed. I would definitely want to revisit the Ring of Kerry, though, and spend a few days hiking and camping there. Edinburgh in the Christmas season. It was magical. The only downside to Edinburgh was a problem that sadly all cities have: lots of homeless people. To be clear, they themselves aren't the problem, the homelessness epidemic is. I was in Edinburgh for Christmas a few years ago, and every Christmas since I've wished I was in Edinburgh. Prague. It was like a metropolitan medieval town. Prague was awesome, and compared to the rest of Europe, was very cheap. Yellowstone. We juicy rode around the west coast for 4 weeks. Yellowstone blew my mind. Beautiful place, fantastic tours with park rangers, incredible wildlife, and a massive range of scenery. From the colors of Grand Prism, the power of Old Faithful, the grassy buffalo habitats, to the rocks and mountain goats. Breathtaking. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.